Chapter 18 Tapovanam. We reach the final chapter of the Tapovanam, dear to the deprived and dearer to the needy. Difficulties are created to yearning, increase the yearning, and to sift the sincere devotee from the rest. Baba. Adversity brings God closer. In Sri Mahabharat, the Pandavas completed their exile in the forests and safely returned home. Kunti Devi, their mother, was overjoyed. In gratitude, she bowed and offered salutations to Lord Krishna. He said, "My dear aunt, is there anything more you want? I will grant it." She answered humbly, "O Lord Krishna, it was only because my sons were undergoing unbearable hardships in the forest and living on roots and tubers, you were constantly with them and guarding them. Similarly, I can earn your support and protection, your sweet and intimate love and your proximity only when I have been in difficulty. So I pray to you to grant me only hardships all the time." A similar incident connected to Sri Satya Sai's life is worth recalling. Swami decided that in one particular year, summer classes would be held in Ooty and took all the students there. When the classes ended, just before setting out for Bangalore, he told them, "As you have come all the way to Ooty, go for sightseeing, look around, and enjoy all the beauty in God's creation." The students insisted that Swami should accompany them. Otherwise, they said they would not go. Their idea was to get themselves photographed along with Swami in the surroundings. Swami agreed and arranged bus transport to Doda Bhatta, a fine spot around 8,000 feet above tree level. He told the boys to go ahead and arrange to take photographs and that he would join them soon. Sometimes after they left, Swami left Nandanavanam for Doda Bhatta by car. After his departure, two young men came to Nandanavanam to see him. On hearing that Swami was on his way to Doda Bhatta, they too left for Doda Bhatta on motorcycle. In their anxiety to reach and in fact overtake Swami's car, they drove at high speed. Persons traveling with Swami in his car wondered, "Who are these boys? They are driving too fast. They must be rowdies." Baba corrected them. No, you should not jump to conclusion without knowing the facts. They are eager to have my darshan. At a turn on the road, the young men on the motorcycle came too close to Swami's car at a high speed. They lost control and fell down. Immediately, Swami had his car stopped. He went to them, wiped the dust and dirt off their bodies, and gently reprimanded them. "My dear boys, are you hurt? Why are you driving at high speed? You should not do such rash things. If you want to see Swami, you should have come to Nandanavanam." The boys replied, "Swami, we very much wanted to see you. Now that we met with this mishap, we have not only gotten your darshan, but also your sparshan and sambhashan. If we too had not fallen off like this, you would not have come so close to us. We would not have patted us on our head so affectionately, and you would not have talked to us so much sweetly. So, Swami, even if you give us any amount of hardship and adversity, grant us also your darshan, sparshan, and sambhashan. In order to receive the bliss of this kind, we will be prepared to undergo any amount of suffering." After narrating this touching tale of love and compassion, Bhagwan Baba said, "God does not bestow so much closeness and love when you are comfortable and enjoying life as when you are in trouble and suffering the pangs of adversity. In God's view of things, both suffering and happiness are equal. Those who love God with all their heart and soul will have no desires. There are any number of people who ruin for lack of sincere faith, but there is not a single believer abandoned by God. None whatsoever. I too fear her." Once morning, women devotees were entering the audience hall in Prashanti Nilayam to have darshan of Swami. They were observing due silence, but also walking in orderly line. But a lady volunteer at the entrance was curt and rude in her manner and was using somewhat impolite words while trying to hustle them inside. Many women felt bad about her behavior. One of them was very much upset. While she came to Prashanti Nilayam to maintain mental tranquility, she thought this insensate volunteer was causing more unrest in her mind. She decided to inform Swami accordingly. To her good fortune, Baba gave an interview to her and along with some other women devotees. She could have utilized that sublime opportunity to raise her personal issues with Swami. Instead, she chose to ventilate her grievance at the inappropriate conduct of the volunteer at the entrance. As soon as she set foot in the interview room, she burst out, Swami, did you notice that lady volunteer on the women's side who's talking too much and using harsh words? She's disturbing our peace of mind even in this holy place. Why did you have that volunteer posted on duty at the entrance, Swami? As he heard this tirade, Swami, who was seated on his throne, bent slightly and said to her, Bangaru, I will let you know a secret. I too fear her. The devotee was surprised but delighted and went into peals of laughter on hearing Baba's well kept secret. Whole room was filled with laughter. Here is a meaningful spiritual lesson given by Bhagwan Baba to his devotees. He did not dismiss that volunteer in anger for her rough conduct. At the same time, with a simple soothing word, he swept away the grievance of this genuine hurt devotee and pacified her with his humor and love. Baba thus exhorts all his devotees. If you too face any problem or difficulty in life and get upset, recall my sweet words and jovial conversation and delight in them. You will be able to forget your grief or hurt more easily. Often did that devotee receive rough treatment again at the hand of the same volunteer at the entrance of the audience hall, but she could bear it with equanimity by simply recalling the sweet, disarming, and frolicsome words of Swami and happily loving within herself. Whenever you are troubled by life's problems, recollect Swami's divine discourses, exhortation, parables, and tales. Your troubles will be swept away like dark clouds away by wind. This incarnation in human form of the eternal, universal, supreme reality, the personification of truth, awareness, and bliss, the embodiment of unbounded compassion, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai is showering Ananda on humanity and enabling mankind to easily cross the difficult to cross ocean of birth and death. 9 types of bhakti. According to Sri Mahabhagavata, hearing, kirtan, singing praises, smaranam, remembering, padasevam, touching feet, vandana, salutation, archana, worshipping, dasya, serving, sakhya, friendship, and atmanivedan, surrender, are the 9 types of devotion to God. These are like people that lead by stages to reach and merge with God. Let us consider an illustration that holds a mirror, as it were, to the experience of hundreds and thousands of devotees visiting Prashanti Nilayam. First of all, we hear quite a lot about Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. We hear that Sri Satya Sai stays in the holy place of Puttaparthi in an Anantapur district, that he gives public audience morning and evening every day in the audience hall in Prashanti Nilayam, that he is clothed in long robe of red color, that he wears a distinctive crown of black hair, and that he presents a magnetic divine vision to the onlooker. We also hear that the very sight of Bhagwan gives incredible happiness and that he can relieve every suffering by a mere touch of word. We hear that he can materialize any and everything by a mere movement of his divine hand, that he can cure any disease by his mere will. We hear hundreds of such experiences from all sides. This is the first, Shravanam, hearing. Back home, the household will gather together and exchange notes and experiences. Have you heard this? Have you also heard about this miracle? The wonder Sri Satya Sai Baba is God incarnate, they say. He is an ocean of mercy. He is an embodiment of compassion. We recount instances of every such attribute and the process we sing his praises. This is the second stage, Kirtan. We are led to a strong desire to visit Puttaparthi someday and have Swami's darshan. The mind fills with Swami. We remember Swami's Leelas and Mahimas, and we are suffused with wonderment and anticipation as well as intense pleasure. We dream of Swami while asleep. We think of Swami when awake. This is the third stage, Smaran. Then, one blessed day, we reach Puttaparthi. We go into the audience hall for darshan. Swami moves gracefully towards us, radiating flame-colored illumination, and stops right in front of us. We forget ourselves in immense happiness. We salute him in a gesture of obeisance at his lotus feet and touch our eyes with our hands so blessed. This is the Pada Sevanam, or touching feet. Swami graciously invites us into the interview room. Beaming with pleasure, we troop into the room and sit at his lotus feet. He on his throne, very close to us, sits on his throne, very close to us. We look at him in unbelievable wonder and rejoice at our fortune. This is the fifth stage, Vandana or salutation. We place flowers at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Bhagwan tells us, Bangaru, I do not want these flowers that fade in no time. What I want is the other flower, your heart. When we hear Swami's mellifluous voice, 1,000 musical instruments sing in our inner consciousness. This is the sixth stage, Archana. Then Bhagwan casts his cool, refreshing looks at us and asks smilingly and enchantingly, what do you want? We reply, Swami, if you're kind enough, we will stay here serving you. What will you do here? We say, we will do whatever you order, Swami. This is the seventh stage, Dasya, serving. After some conversation, we become more self-assured and bolder. We develop some closeness or friendship with Swami. We tell him about our problem. Swami assures us, Bangaru, why fear when I am here? I am in your home. I am always with you. I am ever by your side. You will find me within sight whenever you need me. I will protect you at all times. This close companionship gives us a lot of self-confidence. This is Sankhya or friendship. After some days, Bhagwan again asks us, what do you want? We reply, Swami, I am completely yours. I need nothing. Use me as your instrument. I am merely incidental, a mere tool in your hands. This is the ninth, that is surrender or Atmanivedan. First, I will give you whatever you ask for. Later, I will make you ask for what I have come to give you, Bhagwan said. Om Shri Satya Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. End of chapter 18. Tapovanam Shri Satya Sai Satcharita. Sanishri Jandhalya Venkateshwara Shastri. Copyright reserved by author 1928 to 2023. 2003. Benediction. Falashruti. Parayanam of this book brings the beatific divine form of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai to the reader's mind with the abundant grace of Bhagwan. His divine name dances on his tongue and lips. Baba said once, the gardener orders the laborer to dig. The laborer just obeys and digs on. It is for the gardener to decide how much of the material should go to each plant. Similarly, my order is that you perform Nam Smaran and Roop Dhyanam, that is, mental repetition of the name and meditation of the form. You go on with your task. It is my job to see where and how much to allocate the fruits thereof. Let us concentrate on implementing Baba's command in earnest. It is for him to rescue us from the crushing wheels of cycle of life, birth and death. Swami's supreme divinity, Swami's boundless compassion and Swami's unfathomable love, displayed time and again, incident after incident, overwhelm us with astonishment, yearning and also supreme bliss. We soon develop a sense of vairagya or non-attachment, and we realize that everything lies in the hands of the all-controlling Baba and that we are merely toys in his divine hands. It frees us from the bonds of worry that besets our lives. In due course, it leads us to realization of Atma Satkar or self-realization. It is an established fact that the choking mesh deeds of past life is torn aside if we sing the praise of Bhagwan with full-throated ardor, if we insistently meditate on Swami, and if we do unremitting service to Swami in his name. Sri Satya Sai Bhagwan transcends every other god. Therefore, people professing of any religion and faith, people from any state, country, land, indeed the entire humanity, may read this holy book. Swami says, if you are a Christian, be a good Christian. If a Muslim, be a good Muslim. I have come not to divert you from your path, but to build up strong faith in your own religion. Sai faith is nothing but harmonization of all faiths and to stress the interconnection of the basics of all major religion of the world. Sarva Mata Dharma Sammatham is Sai Sanmatham. Accordingly, devotional singing of this sacred book strengthens a person's belief in divinity and faith in his own religion. Thereby, he will be inspired to adhere to the right path, the path of divinity. After reading about Sri Satya Sai's divinity, people from hundreds of countries pray, Swami, kindly give us too the exhilarating experience of witnessing instances of your divinity. They receive Baba's blessing in ample quantity. They forget themselves as they are showered with Bhagwan's compassion and love. This is fascinating, going on every moment all over the world in this age of Kali Yuga. This is an open secret, a divine secret known to everyone. Baba, one may master the Vedas and the Upanishads, but to understand Bhakti is no easy task. The life story of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba is a Veda about the Veda Purusha, the divine to whom all Vedas are dedicated. Reading of this Veda make it all easier to understand the essentiality of bhakti, which is love of God. Whoever reads or listens to the life story morning, evening with unyielding devotion will attain everything beneficial in life, will also get relief from the cycle of birth and death quite easily. That being the case, it goes without saying, worldly problems one faces in life are resolved automatically by the grace of Bhagwan. There is absolutely no doubt that Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba will shower on his devotees compassion, love, and bless them with earthly happiness and spiritual ananda. Baba says, how can I fail to remember one who always remembers me? He also said, Janma Karma Chhame Divyani. My life and my work are divine. Let us read the sacred life of Bhagwan Baba again and again. Let us remember him over and over again. Let our devotion invite Bhagwan's favor. Let us witness the glorious spectacle of the entire world suffused with Bhagwan's love. Let us attain immortality. Sai Ishwaramayo Marthyo Satya Dharma Parayana Papa Vyadhi Vishuddhama Yathi Satya Satanayam. Jai Sai, hail the glory of Lord Sai. Om Shri Satya Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Shanti Shanti Shanti. End of Tapovanam Shri Satya Sai Satcharita.